Okay, so how to calculate the beta number in Excel. So let's see. So I'm gonna go here and research for two stocks. I have more stocks, but I'm just going to do over two of them. So here in Yahoo, you can see actually they have the beta monthly for 5 year is 1.61. So that's good to know. And we'll go back and look at this. And I'm going to go here to historical data. I'm going to download the data for 5 years. And I want to download the database on monthly. Right? Uh, and I'm going to download this. So this is, uh, I had to remember this is very new for me. I have no experience in finance, so this is what I got so far. So, okay. And then I have this other stock, also interested in that I kind of follow, and I have my portfolio for semiconductors. So, okay, so I got the QCOM stock. I'm gonna here is the beta is 1.22. Whatever the beta is less than one is the stock is not aggressive. If it's more than one, then the stock's aggressive regarding to fluctuations with the stock market. So here is 5 years, and I want to download the historical data for monthly and apply and download. All right. Oh, let me go back. I think I did a mistake. I didn't do apply for the first one. So historical data. I want a 5 years. I want a date monthly and apply. And then I'm going to download this. Okay. All right. So I have that. This one I'm going to delete it. All right. So I'm going to open this too. And so that's what I need. These two stocks. And I actually going to create a new one so that way I don't get confused. So this is going to be my risk analysis, and I'm going to download this is going to be, let's merge this, I think is AMD, and here in the, I'm going to give a little space here, it's going to be my stock. Okay, so here I have the other one. It's one more another thing that I need to download. So here I'm going to get the date. I'm going to uh, here I'm going to copy these two columns, the date and the stock for the value for monthly stocks. And then I'm going to paste this here. Perfect. I'm going to change the order of that in a minute. Then I'm going to download the other stock that I'm interested in, that I'm playing with the Investopedia. They're doing well, by the way. I'm going to paste it here in this one. Okay. So I have these two stocks, right? However, I want this to be from the newest to the oldest. So I'm going to filter this here. I'm going to use the filter from the newest to the oldest, and the same thing here. There you go. From the newest to the oldest. Okay. So I had these two stocks here, and we're going to first, in order to find the beta number, we need to do some calculations. So let's see if I remember everything. Okay. And then the last thing that we need to find is the index market, so we can compare to SP 500, I think, index. Let's see if we can find as actually this one. Yeah. So let's start with data. Yes. And then let's see stock with prices monthly. We need to know this monthly, and also we need to do just like we did it for 5 years, and then apply. And I'm going to download this. There you go. So that's what we need to compare to, that index for depends the market. So I was like researching. You can do market for foreign stock exchange. So that's why we need this. And then here in this F212, and we are going to do. Also, we need to filter there. And this is 100. So that's the index. The only thing that is left to do is to filter the same way that we have the other data. And I'm going to call this risk analysis. Sorry, I'm saving. I don't want to like do this all over again. All right. So here we have it. What I did it before is I put the beta number here that from the finance, Yahoo Finance here, but here we're going to start first by calculating the long return. And the way that you do it is you have to calculate the with Excel formula the oldest with the newest value. So here in the first you don't have anything. So the oldest with the newer, the previous with the oldest value. So here I'm going to calculate this equals LN. Here I think it's divided by this. And there we go. And then I'm just going to fill this up. All right. So here maybe I'm going to leave 3. Okay. Here the same thing. So here is the long, not log, but long return. Right there. And I'm going to do the same process here. LN, and then this. Let's go to equals LN. Here's the formula, and then this divided by So this is very repeated. So you do this for all your stocks. It can get really big. There you go. And the last one is the same thing. So now I'm doing the index. All right, so here again, I'm going to uh, I'm going to fill the cells with everything. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is calculate the risk. So the average of the stocks. So here I'm going to put right here AMD, and then the other stock is CM, and I'm going to put here the SP 500. All right, so here to calculate the average, very easy. You just do a formula here, average, and here average, and then you get your long return here. So average is just the sum of all the values divided by the number. So that's okay. Perfect. So you actually don't have to calculate anything. Excel is wonderful, does it for you, but I do find that sometimes when things are done for you, then you don't know really how what they are. So okay, so there you go. Especially dealing with numbers. Okay, so here is my average. So I calculated the average of my stock, and also I'm going to do the average of the index here, the long return. I forgot to put the name. I'll put it in a minute. There you go. All right, so that's the average. Now we're going to find the standard deviation and add the standard deviation. Is well, standard deviation is the variation from the average. How much varies from the average? Let's say if your average was 2 and you have 0.001 is a very low variation from the middle, from the median, right? From the center. So in here, the standard deviation, that's the risk. So the risk is the standard deviation. Okay, so let's go calculate the risk. And the risk is just the standard deviation. And if I'm not wrong, standard deviation is the variation from the mean, the average, right? So let's go see the standard deviation for my first stock. And we're going to use standard deviation S. And then we are going to get these values here, the long return. The same values they use for the average, but now instead to find the average, we find the deviation. So that is the variation from the mean. Okay, and then we're going to do for this one, and we'll see what that means. So, all right, and then let's go and find the standard deviation for this one from the index. All right. All right. So you find the average, you find the standard deviation. Now we need to find the correlation between the risks between two stocks. Uh, right. The correlation between two stocks. So we're going to do two here, the AMD and COM, and we'll get to the beta in a minute. But since we're doing all of this, let's go do this. So I did this before already. So let's see. Let's double check this. The correlation. Okay, got it. So we're going to do the correlation, and remember the correlation value goes between -1 to 1. Everything's close to 0. So here I'm gonna put this. So they're gonna do the correlation. AMD and QCOM. So that's the correlation between these two stocks. Obviously, you have more, you have to do more of them, right? Okay, so I'm going to use already the correlation formula here from Excel, Corel, and here I'm going to use the long return for my first stock. There you go. And then I'm going to do comma and my second value here. And let's see what can we find. Okay, all right. So here is 0.5. And remember that the correlation is between -1, 0, and 1. And what I mean, -1 is a negative correlation. 0 is no correlation at all. Whatever is close to 0 is not correlation at all. And 1 is a positive correlation. So here I have 0.5. So I'll say that is a medium. Not as strong because it's not as 1 or 0.80. So it's a medium between the two. To the risk is, um, I'll say there is some kind of risk, but not as much. Let me see the interpretation from everyone. Because if it was 0, there will be no correlation between two the stocks. But in my second post, you'll see why sometimes everything is related, because both of them are uh, stocks that they are based on semiconductors. So if it's not semiconductors, both of them are gonna crash. So it is a influence, even though it's not a 1 or 0.9. It is still a correlation between the two of them. Okay, so that's now we had to calculate the. Okay, yes. Now let's go calculate the beta number, but in order to calculate the beta number, right, we need to find the average number from the what is the average number? One second, I'm gonna have to look for it. Give me a second. I want to waste this in the video. Let me give me a second. But you should have a little tab there that says data analysis tools, this little one here. Okay, we're going to use the regression. So here's regression. And in regression is going to allow us to find the beta number. All right. So actually the input range is the dependent variable, right? So it's the variable that's influenced by the depending variable. So the y is the depending variable. In my case here, I want to, Jesus Christ. I don't have a mouse. I should have put the mouse. Okay, so my depending variable is here. So is this stock. So I want to find the beta for this stock, the AMD, right? My independent variable is actually the index. So I'm going to do a regression between the dependent and independent variable. So here is my independent variable. That's not affect, is independent. And we're going to see how that variable y is affected by the independent variable. So here I'm going to put a new sheet, and we have here we have as the default a 95% confidence for the regression. All right, so here I ran it, and the only we're not going to look at the p-value or other statistical value. We have only 95% confidence. You can do 99% confidence and so forth. We have 1.61. So this interesting because this is correct, but when I did mine in my first, it got incorrect number. So we're going to double check this. So here we're going to go here. We're going to put it is beta, right? The beta number right here. And I think because my other has so much, because I want to show you here. So the beta number for that is 221 for the AMD C221. And here I put the beta number. Here is 161. So it's correct when I did it now in this video, but it was incorrect when I did it the first time. And I did it a few times, but I don't know why I got the wrong beta number. Okay. So that's very important that sometimes you do it. I review my work and it was correct. And I think my problem is I did it so many and maybe somehow one data got maybe some value uh, throw away the final result. So here is our beta number. So we have the beta number and is greater than 1. So the beta number says that if is less than 1 is less volatile, and if it's more than 1 is risky. So my AMD is more risky, is a risk aggressive stock, and it makes sense because is directly based on semiconductors, so it will be uh, understandable that is a risk stock. So that's very good. So that's how you find the beta. Let's go and see. In my final book I did here, what did I did, beta, the risk, oh, the cap. So the cap is, let me see, the formula is C6 plus C1. So let's go see what that means. C6. So is risk-free rate. So I'm going to write here. Cap. Cap. So is risk-free plus, what else? Plus, let's go look here. Plus C7 beta. Then what else? Then we have parentheses, and then it says J2. What is J2? Oh, the index average. So average minus C3 minus the standard deviation. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna put this in my other here. So here is cap. Is that correct? Cam, yeah. Cap. Okay, and here I'm going to put the information so I can remember. Okay, so to calculate the cap is, and the cap is, what is the cap? Is, I guess, is how risky that is. It's not risk, the risk the stock is. But please, if it is anything that I said, oh my God, this is so stupid, please just correct me. So risk free is this plus what else? Beta, and then index average minus standard deviation for that, and uh, what did I do? 0.3. That is risk free. So this one 0.7 plus beta. Then average minus standard deviation. Isn't that what I did? Okay, let's go do it again. So equals risk free plus beta index average minus standard deviation. No, so let's go back. Oh, I forgot it's times. Okay. Ah, okay. Here is times. So here is this, but here is times. Very good. So here is minus. So it's very small. Let me see the other one. You can tell that this is so new. Let me see. It's more aggressive stock. Finding beta regression. So it's very close to the cap is 0.19. So this value is 0.119 and the risk-free is 0.05. So it's lower than the risk-free. So since it's lower, is that risky and probably is going to underperform. Like I said, since I picked semiconductors and there is so much going on, and which one I'm going to do in the next post, how I decided to pick these stocks to begin with, because I thought in my mind there was a very good idea. Anyway, you have to understand that I have no comprehension of this. So this gives me these numbers, which tells me that it's going to underperform based on the risk-free here, this value right here that I got it from the treasury. All right, that's 0.0526, so like 5%, 5.26%. So it's going to underperform. All right, okay, great. I hope that helped.